get started in a minute. All right, cool. Just want to make sure everything is live. Um, how's everybody doing? Um, cool. Everything is live. It looks like everything is in shape. Um, don't need this window open. So let me just go ahead and close it. Um, it's a Sunday morning, leading into the afternoon to be precise. And it looks like everything is working and everything is on. So, how's everybody doing today? Um, today we're gonna actually start things off with me going through my art shit. So I actually have a quote unquote commission that I need to do. And what do I mean by that? Um, I have friends. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep the camera off because I have my shirt off. I don't want to get in trouble because like all this manliness is showing. And eventually I may have to turn off the light because of the changing of the. What's up with Judah? The changing of the light and stuff like that. Um, basically, um, I a friend of mine. We're friends, and I originally had got like another friend of mine a picture that I drew, which was actually fucking awesome. And I was like, hey, you like my art? Give me another print and give me something that I can actually do a print, and you tell me how you like the print. And it was mentioned. I want to see if I can actually bring this up. Hold on, let me just. I'm gonna put the display up because um, yeah, I'm trying to skirt around what I'm trying to say, and you know what I'm trying to say. Um, you know exactly what I'm trying to say. Somebody that I date or spend time with, I should say. Um, hold on. Let me see if I can find this picture. Okay, great. So this is a picture. So this is the picture. Now the thing about it is, this is acrylic. This is fucking acrylic, and I can't do acrylic on the print shop. So what's the next best thing? YouTube is gonna get mad at me for what? But what's the next best thing if I can't do acrylic? Well, just do it all over again. And I'm obviously gonna change it just a little bit to reflect like some of my different styles. Um, let's see. Let me see if I can find it. This has been a banner that I've used. This has been a banner that I've used. Now, with this being the banner that I've used, I'm actually going to take this character, and I don't know if you see my mouse, this character, and this character, and put it in a more stylized way. And if you've ever, let's close that out. So I'm gonna actually do that, and while I'm doing that, while I'm doing art, this is the first time ever, really. I'm gonna actually be trying to do some political commentary. So I'm gonna actually get started because I have too many videos that I need to actually work on. That's on the docket that I'm trying to get taken care of. So this is gonna be interesting, very interesting, and let's see how this works. So, um, unlike most of the times when I do a video, this is gonna be one long video. I want to actually work on the art while I'm talking about it, and so I'm just gonna go through all of the videos and just let me also do this because I I'm going to commit a team kill in Minecraft if I have to listen to them at full speed at regular speed. So um, yeah, cool. If you're gonna just be here chilling, that's great, man. So let's listen to these fools and let's actually get the picture together. So here we go.
Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. This is Joker with a face.
Um, like the whole idea, and I know this is petty as shit. The whole idea of having a channel called Better Bachelor, like I get it, dog. Like you a fucking idiot, and god damn it, I just like I hate being that guy. No, I don't really hate being that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. Dude, you, yeah, go ahead, go, just go.
Face for radio and a voice for print. Tonight, I got a fun comment or a fun little article here from the Sydney Morning Herald, and it's quite old actually. This is going back to 2012. But I thought what made this such an interesting article is that even though now it's 8 years old, it's even more so relevant today than the day it was written. And it's called Why Women Lose the Dating Game.
All right, so first off, when you're looking at dating as a game and something to be played and won, then we have an issue, my friend. That's the key thing. Dating is not a fucking game. It's not. It's not a game. It's not something to win or lose. It's just how people relate to each other. And I'm sorry, like, if you think of it as a competition, then you're doing it wrong. Because if you're looking to win or if you're scared of losing, then it's fucked, man, and your whole idea of things are just fucked. But then again, you are single. But let's continue.
So we're going to read through this article, and I think it brings up a lot of points that we talk about a lot of times when we discuss dating and kind of today's environment for dating. And I think this will be a fun one for us. So let me readjust my camera here. So this is a Bettina Ardent listens to other voices in the debate.
You ever think for these people that are red pilled that they're just pissy that they couldn't get the exact woman that they want, and they've looked over so many other great women and then complain about women looking over them because they're such great guys? I mean, like, really. Sorry guys, I dropped something and I'm trying to find it. But like, really, what do you think, guy? Like, you're such a great catch that any woman will want you? Hold on. Fucking can't find my stapler. But let's go.
The men. Naomi sat in the back row of a Melbourne's Groton Institute about to watch her fiancé give a lecture. She was joined by three unfamiliar women, all attractive, well-groomed, in their mid-30s. From their whispered chat, she quickly realized that they weren't there to hear about politics and economics, but to meet her eligible man.
If it's her fiance, he's not exactly eligible unless y'all do the whole open relationship thing. And if you do that, I mean, like, hey, maybe they'll see why you're so hung up on them. Like, I'm for real. Like, these motherfuckers, like, oh god, like, let's continue. Let's continue.
Naomi explains he's 36 years old and is definitely someone who falls into the alpha male category. Excellent job in finance, PhD, high income, 6'2", sporty, very handsome, and he's an utter sweetheart. Gentlemen, this is what we call a 10%er, right? He checks all the boxes that women would say, if I could have a man, he should be. Naomi, I guess his girlfriend or fiance. Naomi is an attractive 28-year-old PhD student. She has been in a relationship with her fiance for 6 years. Her new companions were very friendly and chatted to her during the break. But then her partner, who had been socializing at the front of the room, made eye contact with Naomi and smiled. The women saw this, and it was like the room had suddenly frozen over. There was a silence, and then one of them asked me if I knew him. I wasn't going to lie, so I told him he was my partner and how long we'd been together. It was amazing.
So I get it. Like he's recounting his story, but like, dude, how many times have a guy recounted stories like this, and it's just been like, yo, that's my woman, or that's this, and like, I don't know. It's like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but it's just like, these motherfuckers are just, I don't know. It's just like they don't fucking get, like, hey, like, the same shit that you talk about is the same shit that women talk about. But you want to actually down a woman for saying the same shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? But let's continue. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Amazed how they responded. They stopped smiling at me, shifted awkwardly in their seats, looked me up and down as if they were trying to figure out how a girl who still wears jeans and ballet flats could land a guy like that. Then the woman left before her man gave his speech. First, he's 36, she's 28. Dating down by 8 to 10 years is common in that age range.
I don't know. I have a friend of mine that is younger than me. I don't know. But it's not because I'm dating her because she's younger and more like, no, I'm dating her because she's fun and I like spending time with her. Like, that's like the reason. And I don't see why some of these guys actually put that above so much other bullshit. But let's continue.
Again, when you're, the top 10, 20% of guys, and what denotes that is what women themselves say that they describe as their ideal man. And women always want to date someone that is better and more successful. Women, there's no doctor out there that wants to date a plumber. It just doesn't happen. They want them to be educated. They want them to make a good earning, if not more than them, and so on and so forth. So he's 6 foot, 6 figures. I don't know about the other 6, but, he's athletic, so probably 6-pack.
Wait. Is he saying that a 6-inch long penis is big? It's not, dog. Like, I look at a 6-inch long penis all the time. Oh, yeah. Some guys are 4 or less. Well, some guys have a baby carrot and say they got floppage.
He's a top 10 percenter. And these other women that are now in their 30s, well, hey, he's in his 30s. He's around our age. This is who we'd like to date. But because he has the choice, he can be more selective. He can date younger. He can date more successful. Right? Okay. Naomi is stunned at the number of women in their 30s.
I'm trying to figure out, like, should I do this sideways or should I do it kind of like poster size? And if I do a poster size, each particular one would have, it'd be a lot less space. Yeah, I do it poster size. But go ahead. Let it go.
Who throw themselves at her partner. The colleagues who sign emails with kisses, the female journalists who pointedly ask post-interview if he was married. Yet given the plight of 30-somethings for women seeking partners, it's hardly a surprise their boyfriend is in their sights. We hear endless complaints from women about the lack of good men. Women astonished that men don't seem to be around when they decide it's time to settle down. Women telling men to man up and stop shying away from commitment. But there's another conversation going on, a fascinating exchange about what is happening from the male point of view. Much of it thrives on the internet, in the so-called manosphere. Here you will find men cheerfully, even triumphantly, blogging about their experience. They have caused...
All right, so, like, that was a long-ass preamble to say that there are some men who complain about women not giving them the attention that they need. And, yeah, it's people, dog. Like, that's how people are. People actually complain the fact that, oh, this person doesn't really like me as much as I like them. Shit. Like, can we move past 3rd grade, please? But let's continue.
Cause for celebration, you see. They've discovered a profound change has taken place in the mating game. And to their surprise, they are the winners. Now, at first, again, we would disagree with this. Many of us would disagree and say, hey, dating hasn't gone so well for all of us. Matter of fact, some of it's been kind of painful. But apparently, some guys are winning with this. Dal Rock is typical. Today is unmarried 20 something women.
Um, that's because you guys are assholes. Like for real, you guys are assholes. Uh, I mean, like I don't know what else to say. Like, dude, like yeah, of course. Like, I'm not bragging that I have this and that friend, but because I'm not an asshole. Well, I'm an asshole. I am an asshole. I'm gonna not gonna lie. I am an asshole, but I'm not an asshole to the point that you guys are. You guys are just like, why won't she bow down and you know slob my knob because I'm a man? It's like, okay, you kind of got some issues, but let's continue.
Have given men an ultimatum. I'll marry you when I'm ready to take it or leave it. This is, of course, their right. But ultimatums are a risky thing because there's always a possibility the other side will decide to leave it. And in the next decade, we will witness the end result of this game of marriage chicken. And we are seeing it. Here we are 8 years later, which I thought made this article kind of interesting because we're almost at that 10-year point. And the ultimatums were the women want to have their fun and party it up and go to college and kind of goof around and do their thing and find themselves.
That's also something that you should actually be doing, dog. Like, dude, like, and you don't even find yourself in your 20s. You barely find yourself in your 30s. Like, I, like, wait. Are you really fucking upset because somebody learns to discover who they are and you have an issue with that? Like, okay.
Until they hit their 30s. Well, when they're in their 20s having their fun and finding themselves and goofing off with these guys can be in their 30s or 40s or 20s. And so then when they're in their 30s and ready to settle down, what happens? The guys are not ready to settle down. Why? Because they're having fun with the 20 somethings. And they can have their fun without being in a long term relationship. They can have their fun without being married. They can just have their fun. So, what better way is it for a young guy that, or even a middle aged guy that wants to go out and have some fun, right? So, all he does is he goes out, casually dates those in the 20 somethings, he has his fun, and then at the end of it, he goes his own way. He doesn't have to settle down. Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? The end game.
Again, this is not a fucking game. You don't just get with somebody just for a fucking game. And then like, dude, like this is the whole thing. Like this is why I say seeing it like a game or seeing it like a competition, the battle of the sexes, a war to get as much as you can. It's like the it doesn't make sense because it doesn't make sense because what ends up happening is you play a game and you're hurting people all to satisfy your own sense of entitlement or a sense of somebody hurt me, so it's time to hurt them back. But let's continue.
Dalrock warns about is already in play for hordes of unmarried professional women. The well-coiffed lawyers, bankers, and other success stories. Many thought they could put off marriage and families until their 30s, having devoted their 20s to education, establishing careers, and playing the field. But was their decade of dating a strategic mistake? Yes. Yes, it was. You know, women have the advantage of the power in the 20s, and they have the youth. And then as they age, men get the power.
That's because we fucking socialize women to think that they're only here good for is pleasing a man. And I'm sorry. I have a fucking daughter. And I would never, ever tell her her only goal in life is to make me a grandfather. That's stupid. And these motherfuckers, these insecure ass bastards that sit back and say that women should worship the men and be happy that a man is choosing you to, you know, be the receptacle of their seed are fucking stupid. Like they are literally people who are so I don't know what's a good term for it. Useless in their belief of themselves. They believe that they're only good for is I don't know, being a fucking corporate slave, making that money so they could make money. And it's just like, dog, you're better than that. you're stronger than that. And to say, well, I don't want a woman to know themselves or experience life, it's also admitting weakness. It's admitting the weakness of I can't compete to the life that they had. So no, they shouldn't actually learn anything about themselves. But let's continue.
kind of a power imbalance. So by holding off, they have great careers, but their pool is going to shrink. If every one woman, and I can put up profile after profile after dating profile, of I want a guy that's at least 6 foot tall. I mean, half of them say that now. I want somebody that makes six figures. Plenty of them say that. Or I want a career-driven man, or I want a successful man, or I want a guy that will care for my children as if they were his own. Men don't want to walk into a relationship, number one, feeling like they're a piggy bank, feeling like if they're 5'9", or in my case 5'7", that because of our height. And can you imagine, reverse those roles? Imagine me putting on a dating profile that says a woman must be under 5'2". She must be petite, but she must have big boobs.
Wait, whoa. That shit happens. That shit is on profiles. Fucking moth. How the fuck did it fly in? Anyway, that shit is on dating profiles. Don't sit up here and bullshit. That shit is on dating profiles. No kids. All this other good bullshit. Like, that shit is on dating profiles. So don't start that bullshit. But let's continue.
And she has to have a good job. She can only do this, and she must be athletic, and she can only do that. Anybody else? Oh, and she has to love my 2 children from my previous marriage, and I don't want to have children with you. I'd never, I mean, as it is, we already don't get swipes. I could blast that out across America. I'd never get anybody to match me. So when the women do the reverse and put these roles on men, men are opting out, and they've called their bluff. Many of us aren't even dating anymore. A lot of us have just said, you know what, it's too hard to try to do it in like a healthy way at the gym or something else, because women complain that we're creeping them out or something like that. And again, not me personally, but you hear plenty of stories like that.
Wait, what? Like, for real? Not me personally creeping them out? Like, no, like, that's one of those things. It's just like, dude, you sound like a creeper. You sound like you had this conversation before with somebody to defend yourself. Like, I'm I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I like looking at women. I know the guy who is literally one page drawing a fucking mm, you know tank ass woman, because literally she's a knight, she's a tank. Um, I like looking at women, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I I've never heard me being a creeper. I've never had an instance where I was just being a creeper, like for real. And you know what? As an adult, we all go through those awkward stages as a teen. As an adult, it's just like at some point you have to be like, "Yo, I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be that creeper." And those who complain about shit like that have fucking issues because they only know to be creeper. They only know to be to be dominant, and they don't want to change their personality to fit the situation. They want the situation to change to fit what they find easiest to deal with. But yeah, it's the same thing as Henry Cavill saying, "I don't think I want to talk to a woman because I don't want to be accused of being a creep." Get out of here.
And then online, women can just swipe all day long, and they're choosing only the top 10%. And there's graphics and everything else you can look at. I'm not going to dive deep into the statistics on this one tonight. Janny, a 30-year-old Sydney barrister, thinks so. Women labor under the impression they can have it all. They can have the career, the carefree lifestyle, and then at the snap of their fingers, because they're so fabulous, find a man. But if they wait until their 30s, they're competing with women who are much younger, in various ways more attractive. We say this time and time and time again, that women today feel a little bit entitled. They all feel like they're a catch. They all feel like they're special. They all feel like they're unique, and that some guy will sweep them off their feet because they do get so much attention in their 20s.
Wait a minute. I know Mr. Red Pill is not saying this shit. I know, Mister, I'm a red pill and women are just being selfish because I'm actually great. They just don't know how great I am. Isn't saying this shit. I know this isn't coming from the mouth of somebody who fancies themselves to be, you know, I guess. I mean, like, I know I'm hypocritical about shit, but like, come on, God, like, come on. But let's continue.
But the problem is when you get into your 30s, okay, many women are married. The ones that aren't are still very picky and they're looking for that special guy. Well, there's not that many special guys out there. If you want 6%, or if you want a 6 foot tall guy, or 5'11", or whatever, you're starting to narrow down into the top 15% of height for men. You want six figures? That's, depending on where you live, anywhere between 5 and 10% of men make.
So, like, I like how he listed his preferences and said, "Well, if I do that, then it's a problem." But he still listed his preference. It's okay to have a fucking preference. Now, when you only limit yourself to a preference and then you don't explore anything outside of that, then yeah, you can actually lay blame at somebody. But dude, like, this whole push of fucking, I need to have this money or I need to have this fucking height. Men do that shit too. I don't see you criticizing them for that shit. You just said, well, if we did it, it'd be a problem. Motherfucker, you right. Just as when women do it, it's a problem because it's basing your requirements for somebody on an arbitrary factor. An arbitrary factor that, if left up to you, when they base their criteria on something, you would have a fucking issue as well. But let's continue.
That. Maybe even less. So 10% of 10% is 1%, but you've got 100% of the women wanting that. Statistically, it's just not going to happen.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. But yes, both men and women can be picky bitches. Like, for real. And that's my whole hang up about this whole shit. It's just like both men and women can be just like picky motherfuckers. And that's, and you know what? It's fine if you picky. Like, fuck, I'm picky. I'm picky about other shit. Like, can I talk to them? Can they enjoy fucking anime? Can they fucking enjoy YouTube? Can they fucking enjoy me or have a conversation about politics? Like, I'm picky about that. Physically, do they have big breasts? I am not below that shit. But what kills me is then I don't go around saying like, oh, fuck this. The world is going to hell because I can't find something of my personal taste. And it's just like, no. Like, I get it. Like, I have a particular set of tastes. I have a particular set of how I relate as a person. And if I don't get that, if I need to evaluate how what I look for, then that's it. That's what I need to do. And I'm sorry, both men and women both know that there are certain things that you're attracted to that you can fucking do without if they're a fucking awesome person. The problem with a lot of these guys are they're not particularly awesome people. They're awful people. But let's continue.
The crisis for single women in this age group seeking a mate is very real. Almost 1 in 3 women aged 30 to 34, and a quarter of late 30s women do not have a partner, according to the 2006 census statistics. And I believe it's higher now, almost double that. And this is a growing problem. The numbers of partnerless women in their 30s has almost doubled since 1986. And again, it just continues to get worse because the more entitled and the more selfish, the more men just say, I just do not have time for this.
All right, so fun fact. I was literally watching responding to a post in a Facebook group that I'm in. And the post says if a man works 6 days a week and he to provide for his woman so she doesn't have to fucking work and she cheats, who's at fault? Him for working the 6 days a week or her for cheating when she says she's lonely? And You know what my response was? And it was a little bit class reductionist, but eh, I'm me, fuck. So, you know what I'm gonna say. It was that it's a system in place which causes us to chase after so many material things where we fucking forget that we're fucking people and we become consumers. And this isn't to like abdicate any fucking responsibilities from each individual action, but we live in a system that prioritizes it's all about you and you are the most important thing there is, and people act on that because that's what they've been conditioned to actually do, and they do nefarious shit based on the feeling of isolation and loneliness. Then like at what point do we say like, yo, we need to evaluate our system? Oh, that looks so much better. But let's continue.
A relationship is just not worth the effort anymore. It's a risk.
Yeah, and I want to make it that point. Like people are becoming more and more lonely and isolated. Now, some people want to blame social media. No, I would not blame Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, whatever the fuck for isolating more people. No, it's the acceleration of the decline of capitalism where companies are saying you this, you need this, you need that. And the most important thing is you. So you need to spend money on you. You need to focus on you, and you need to be happy. And it fucks us up. It fucks us up because it isolates us. But let's continue.
Risk and reward, right? The challenge is greatest for high achieving women in their 30s looking for equally successful men. Women do not date down, or if they date down, they will not marry down. Analysis of 2006 census figures by the Monash University sociologist Genevieve.
Again, why is it that women don't want to date now? Is it because we've actually stigmatized, making it where we've stigmatized this whole thing of fucking your worth as a person is tied to a dollar amount. We need to fucking change that. But let's continue.
Steve Herd reveals that almost 1 in 4 of degree educated women in their 30s will miss out on a man of similar age and educational achievement. There were only 68,000 unattached graduate men in their 30s for 88,000 single graduate women age in the same group. So basically 3 out of 4, 3 men for every one of those 4 women. And again, the women will not date down. Or excuse me, they won't marry down. They won't settle down. And this even states it right here. They're looking for an equally successful man. Well, now imagine you're a female lawyer, a female doctor, a female whatever that's making above 100, 150,000. You're not going to date a carpenter that makes $30,000 a year. You're not.
Why the fuck not? Like for real. And I like because like, and I hate to like say it like this, but there are guys who have issues with the fact that their woman makes more than them. I I don't. If I was dating a woman, hell, married to a woman that was making more than me, I wouldn't give a fuck. Now, if her attitude was I make all the money, I give all the rules, then like we're gonna have a problem with anarchists like myself. But it's just like it's fucking money, and there is a good chance that my desired career path of being a fucking artist, the woman that I'm with may make more money than I do at certain parts. I'm not gonna actually down her for the shit. But then again, too, I'm somebody who is pretty fucking self sufficient, and I don't demand to have somebody to, um, how do you say, wait on me hand and foot. Like, and that's the thing about a lot of these guys who have an issue with their woman making more money than them. They expect a fucking servant. Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, like you said, Vegeta, like, it's not about who makes more money. It's about how fucking happy are you guys together. If you're not happy together, that's a different story. But if you don't, if you make more or less than what your partner does that make them a good partner? Because I mean, like, does it make you less of a partner because you make less? I don't know, but let's continue.
Going to marry a guy that's an auto mechanic that maybe makes 50, or even if he's a good diesel mechanic.
Well, Gita, you. I'm gonna say this: better work on them neck muscles, motherfucker. Better work on them neck muscles.
That makes $70,000 or $80,000 a year, but he comes home covered in grease and he's a blue collar job. You can't mix the white collar woman with the blue collar man. It just doesn't work. And the higher education gap keeps widening. In the past year, the proportion of degree educated women aged 25 to 34.
And this is another thing what they try to actually, like, these motherfucking red pill guys, they're so fucking, they have gotten so fucking good at this shit, which makes it motherfucking almost scary. And they don't realize how fucking good that they got. This whole thing about, well, men can't date women because women don't appreciate a man that's making blue collar jobs. And then they go into the argument of that's why women shouldn't have as much equality in education as men. They take that some women are picky and actually completely gish gallop to, well, it's too many women in schools. There shouldn't be that much equality.
Rose from 37.7 to 40.3. And I now believe that's closer to almost 50%, 48%. According to the Bureau of Statistics, while for males the figure remained below 30%, having only risen 0.5% in the last year. Although there are similar numbers of single men and women in their 30s overall, about 370,000 of each across Australia, half of these available men had only high school education, 57% earned 42,000 or less, and 95,000 of them were unemployed. So this is from Australia. I guess I should have known that from saying that this is the Sydney Morning Herald. But
like, did you not read the full article? Did you not read the full article, my man? Like, I know when I'm doing a fucking video, I read the fucking full article. Like, you know what? You're right, because, like, he doesn't have a woman to give them credit. Oh, if I can get to it, I'm gonna get to a video where he's talking about how he likes dating Asian women, all that other good shit. He likes dating a woman where a culture it says you're supposed to be lesser than a man and you should be happy about it. That's what these motherfuckers like, and it's just like, but why, Sway? Why? Why do you need somebody to be lesser than you to find them to be a good partner for you? Like, for real? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Let's continue.
I think this qualifies for everywhere in the westernized world, because I read articles all the time here from the United States and from the UK, and it's very similar. High expectations of professional women are a big part of the story. Many high-achieving women simply are not interested in Mr. Average, says Justin Parfit, the owner of Australia's fastest-growing speed dating organization, Fast Impressions. Parfit adds, they've swallowed the L'Oreal line, because you're worth it. There's a real sense of entitlement, and man, do we know it. I can't, if I were to make videos on that, I'd have 100 videos an hour long each. He finds many of his female members are determined to meet only men who are tall, attractive, wealthy, well-educated. The 10%ers, like we said. They want the alpha males. Most of the professional women rarely give out yes votes to men who aren't similarly successful, reports Parfit, who struggles to attract enough of these successful men to his speed dating events.
So, you're just saying, like, the quiet part out loud, that women are just money hungry. Like, for real. Like, that's all you're saying. You're saying that the quiet part out loud, that women just want the men that are the 10%. And not only that, you're making an excuse like every fucking time. These motherfuckers make this excuse, I think, and maybe this is just me like being selective, Danny DeVito. But fuck me. Shit. Me. Like, I have gotten sex from women that wasn't just like bought. Like, hello, like, the fuck? Oh, by the way, Vegeta, that woman that you sent me a picture of, that was thick as hell. I'm also gonna do a picture. I'm gonna actually do a picture of her. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. But let's continue.
60% of his members are female. Most are over 30. Here's why. If you're a young guy, 20s or let's say even up to mid 30 or even 40, right? And you're this guy right here, you don't need to go to speed dating sites. It's being thrown at you. You can go in and get a bagel and
No, there are many of guys who are not like getting coochie thrown at them. Like even the quote unquote successful guys, they're not getting coochie thrown at them. Like, and if it was, holy shit, how do you throw coochie at somebody? Like, catch the coochie. I mean, I like that will bring new meaning to the whole coochie wars that Devil Artemis have with that Master Roshi always talks about, right? The coochie wars. Cell, it was a coochie wars. Yes, yes, thank you, thank you.
have a date. You know, who's the guy that played Superman there? Harry, is it Harry Cavill? The guy that's playing The Witcher right now. Tell me, no, I don't know how old. Let's see. Let's have some fun here. Let me look this up. How old is Cavill? It's Henry Cavill. Yep. Shows you how much I pay attention to this.
Like, and he was somebody who's rich and famous that says, I'm like, for real. Like, this was the exact worst person to actually mention because he complains about how hard it is to date a woman. Like, for real. Like, for real. Like, these motherfuckers don't even get it. Like, whoa. Like, fucking whoa. Let me adjust the microphone right quick. Sorry, guys. But let's go ahead and continue.
Stuff. Henry Cavill is 1983. So 93, 2003. All right, so he's still pretty young actually. All right, he's 36. But okay, let's use him as an example. He's 36. He's coming up on 40. You tell me that dude doesn't walk in someplace and he's not going out with a 22-year-old if he wants to, or a 20.
But he's not. He's fucking not. He fucking got in trouble about running his motherfucking mouth the wrong way.
25-year-old if she wants to. Dude's like tall, attractive. You don't know, even if they don't know what he does for a career, it doesn't matter. It's Henry Cavill. You see a guy like that, so he's not going into a dating site, and he's got everything to choose from. So why? You see what I'm saying, right? He's got so many choices that he's not going. He can date.
Yeah, they shouldn't really know what he does for a living
Anybody,
because he can't do that shit well either. Yes.
In the 20s. He's not going to bother a 30-something with kids. No way. Not going to happen. During their 20s, women compete for the most highly desirable men, the Mr. Bigs. Many will readily share a bed with a sporty, attractive, confident man, while ordinary men miss out. As Whiskey puts it at whiskeyplace.wordpress.com, Joe, average beta male is about as desirable to a woman as a cold bowl of oatmeal. Data from American colleges show 20% of males, the most attractive ones, get 80% of the fooling around, according to analysis by Susan Walsh, former management consultant who wrote about the issues on her dating website, hookingupsmart.com.
Wait, is this where the 80-20 rule comes from? Is this where the 80-20 rule comes from? That's bullshit because I know a lot of guys who are very much in the bottom 20% that still get women. It's your fucking attitude.
Same thing that they found in a Bumble survey, a Tinder survey, and the first one that did it, I want to say, was Match.com. And here, this is an analysis by Susan Walsh, a management consultant, right? 20% of males get 100% of the women, or get 100% of the attraction from women. So if you're not in that top 20%, you're out. Don't even waste your time. They're not bothering with you. But if you're in that top 20%, you have 100% of the women to choose from. So you can instantly push down 60% of the women, and you've got the top 40% to the top 20% of men. The 40% women, that's 2 women for every guy or more. Not slim pickings for them. This leaves a lot of, quote, beta man spending their 20s out in the cold. Greg, a 38-year-old writer from Melbourne, started adult life shy and lonely. In my 20s, the women had the total upper hand. They could make or break you with one look at a club or bar. They had the choice of men fooling around on tap, and guys like me went home alone, red-faced, defeated, embarrassed. The girls only wanted to go for cool guys. Good luck.
Stop going to fucking bars to meet women. I'm sorry. And like, I get it. Tinder, fucking Bumble, all these Match.coms. Like, for real. Like, oh God, live your life as a person, be approachable, and fucking just talk to people. I guarantee. And if you want to use the dating sites, don't just put a picture of you shirtless or, you know, covering up some shit where you need to be shirtless or you can't be shirtless and say, this is my picture. Like, motherfucking express your fucking personality. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's continue.
Looks, outgoing personalities, money, sporty types, the kind of guys who own the room, while us quiet ones got ignored. He barely had a date through much of his 20s and gave up on women. But then he spent time overseas, gained more confidence, learned how to dress well, and hit his early 30s. I suddenly started to get asked out by women, age 19 through 40. The floodgates burst open for me. I actually dated 5 women at once, amazing my flatmates by often betting 3 to 4 of my casual dates each week. It's a great time to be a male in your 30s when you start getting more female attention and fooling around than you could have ever dreamt in your 20s.
So, what was the key part there? He got more confidence. Like these motherfuckers just don't get it. It's about the confidence. The confidence. But let's continue.
Again, he's got more confidence. He's probably a pretty decent looking guy. Now he's got more money. He knows how to carry himself a little bit better. And when women look around for that top 20% or top 10% and they don't find anybody but they want to date, they'll shift down to 25, maybe the top 30%. But what happens when they have a chance at a top 10%er? They move on over. They dump you. They just move on. And again, you can say, Joker, I think your opinion of this is wrong.
It sounds as if, like, who hurt you, dog? Like, who hurt you? Like, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like he was hurt and his girl just was like, fuck it, we're done. And that's why he has this whole red pill ideology. And like, yeah, like, that's what this shit sounds like. Like, the big bad alpha male stole my girlfriend. And just to let you guys know, I am doing some changes to the picture while I'm actually doing it, just because I want to actually do it in my newer style. So if you see me not exactly following the same lines, it's just me making sure that I do the style a little bit better. But let's continue.
That's fine. Just look on the internet. Look at stories. Look at first-hand accounts. Look at studies. I mean, there's multiple studies on this stuff. So you can call me out and tell me I'm full of crap, but the internet doesn't lie. Well, I mean, statistics don't lie.
What did that one horrible person say? There are lies, damn lies, and then there are statistics. Like, for real. Statistics, well, I can't speak this afternoon now, can be made to say anything you fucking want. Because it's an evaluation of facts and data that they have, but statistics are fucking opinions about something based on facts. Yeah. So, this whole 80-20 rule, if it's based on a fucking match site, a dating site, maybe people are selective or being selective because of the fucking environment they are in, that they're being this selective. Maybe the type of people that answer fucking surveys like that have a romanticized view of fucking what they expect on the app. Maybe if you go to bars with women who are looking to fucking just have fun and you get one, maybe, just maybe, your selective pool may be a little bit skewed. But let's continue.
That's when some men start behaving very badly, as the manosphere clearly shows. These internet sites are not for the faint-hearted. The voices are often crude and misogynistic, but they tell it as they see it. There is Greenlander, an apparently successful engineer in his late 30s. In his early adult life, he was unable to get the time of day from women. Now he's interested in only women under 27. The women I know in their early 30s are just delusional, he says. I sometimes seduce them and sleep with them just because I know how to play them so well. It's just too easy. They're tired of They're tired of the man playground, and they see a guy like me as a perfect beta to settle down with before their eggs dry out. Boy, he is brutal. When I get tired of them, I just delete their numbers from my cell phone and stop taking their calls. Doesn't really hurt them that much. At this point, they're just used to hit it and quit it. It's easy to dismiss such bile, but Greenlander's analysis is echoed by many Australian singles, both male and female.
It's almost as if these people hurt me, so I want to hurt them. Oh no, no, oh no. Yeah, it's hurt people, hurt people. Fuck.
It's wall-to-wall jerks out there, reports Penny, a 31-year-old lawyer. She is stunned by how hard it is to meet suitable men willing to commit. See, that's the key word in there, suitable. What makes suitable? Now, she said it's hard to meet nice men. It's hard to meet someone that I get along with, or athletic, or whatever. But when you start saying suitable, well, what kind of level of attainment must they reach to be suitable for her? And what we find more and more oftentimes is the bar set a little too high, and as women get a little bit older, and whether they have kids.
Wait, what? Like, okay, it's easy to dismiss. Okay, yeah. Let me just read the article because, like, this shit just, wow. I'm horrified by the number of gorgeous, independent, and successful women in my age group who can't even meet a decent man. Hmm. Hmm. It's wall to wall assholes out here. Penny, a 31-year-old lawyer, she is stunned by how hard it is to find a suitable man willing to commit. She just said suitable. Suitable. Like, no, you have to be an asshole. oh, oh God. This is why we got to be on another fucking stream together.
Kids or not, or if they have previous partners or not, or whatever. But as they age, their main value to men, which is attractiveness, beauty, and sensuality, fades. It's not fair, but it's the way the nature works. And as young men are
Wait, what? That's not my main like, god damn, like, I must be a fucking weird motherfucker because a woman's beauty is not the main desirable thing that I want out of her. What I fucking want out of a woman is, yeah, she has to be sensual. Like, dude, like, she has to be motherfucking sensual. But you find that older women know how to be more sensual than younger women. Like, dude, like, older women that know how to motherfucking work it, like, fuck, work the shot. Whew, whew. Man, who you telling? Like, oh man, it's some, like, I wouldn't want uh anybody with so little experience that, one, doesn't know their body and doesn't know how to explore pleasures and doesn't know of so much of themselves that they don't know how to react with a person. Like, that's just, it's to the point where you're trying to, take away a woman's agency to say you like what I like, and whatever I give you, you should be happy with it.
are frustrated and left behind and can't get a date to save their lives, but then they hit their stride in their 30s, maybe went to the gym, maybe learned how to talk to people, have a good personality, start making a better income. Well, those are now the women that the 30-somethings want, but those guys are just getting started. They're just entering the dating game. They were left out in their 20s. Do you think they're going to want to settle?
Kelsey loves how he's sensual.
All right, let's not do his commercial right here, because I gotta skip this whole shit. But yeah, this shit, like, this is fucking unbelievable. It's like these motherfuckers are just like, I don't fucking, like, I don't get it. Like, they're mad because they had to level up their fucking personality. Oh, come on, another fucking ad. They had to level up their fucking personality in order to be what is acceptable to people. Like, come on now. I just don't get it. But let's continue.
settle down and go straight into a relationship, no way. They're the ones out there having fun. And again, the guys that have been dating all through their 20s having a good time, what's the purpose of them to settle down? They get to go into their 30s and still have great fun with 20 somethings. And then they get into their 40s and still have great fun with 20 somethings. And in the meantime, they don't have to get married. They don't have to worry about losing a good chunk of change to child support or to alimony because they don't get married. They get to live in their man cave. It's all decorated the way they want it. And they get to have freedom. So the statistics now are better for men. Young men that are popular have a good chance all the way up through their 40s and 50s. Guys that were a little awkward, they're out in their 20s. Well, if they can hit their stride in their 30s, now they're good from their 30s to their 50s. So who's out? The women above age 30 or 35. But the problem is if they would settle there, and I keep saying this, but people do not realize this. Women do not realize this. And I'm not picking on them, but they have to understand. You have to lower your standards a little bit.
Says the man who says that men are just like for real, is he fucking serious with this right now? Is he saying that women need to lower their standards, but he's saying that men should not be happy with an older woman? Like, for real? Is he really doing this? Is he really fucking doing this?
You can't 100% of women can't go for the top 10 or 20% of men. 80% of you are going to be left out. It's math. Penny acknowledges part of the problem is her own expectations. There you go, right? That her generation of women was brought up wanting too much. We were told we were special. We could do anything, and the world was our oyster. And having spent her 20s dating alpha males, and she expected them to still be around when she finally decided to get serious. But these men go fast, many fishing outside their pond. The most attractive, successful men can take their pick from women their own age, or from the Naomis, the younger women who are happy to settle early. Almost 1 in 3 degree-educated 35-year-old men marries or lives with women aged 30 or under, according to income, housing, and marriage surveys by the Bureau of Statistics. I can't believe how many men my age are only interested in younger women. Wails Gale, a 34-year-old advertising executive, as she describes her first search through men's profiles on the RSVP internet dating site. She's shocked to find many mid-30 men have set up their profiles to refuse mail from women her age. Well, of course. Would women be shocked if I were young?
So, like, again, it's a case of hurt people. Like, that's what it's a case of. Of hurt people, fucking hurt people. Like, and we're going to play the game of how much can we get from people, and how exploitative can we fucking be. But yeah, hurt people. But let's continue. This is why I love doing the red pill motherfuckers, because they don't realize that they're causing the situation that they're complaining about. But let's continue.
Young woman. Would a woman be shocked if I said, yeah, he works at a fast food joint and he rides a bicycle and lives with his mom, but but he's good looking and I like him. A woman would say, you're gonna marry him? Well, yeah, but he's a man child. Right? We know, we've all heard that, guys, right? Well, if that same young lady can 6 foot tall, attractive, money, that's who she goes for. It's not fair to us young guys. I'm not young anymore, but when I was young, right, it wasn't fair to us, but you got to deal with it. Well, if now the guys that you want are your same age or a little bit older, and they want someone that's now 10 years younger than you got to deal with it. This is just how nature works. It's how society is built. But if you...
I'm glad he fucking clarified that bullshit, because it's society, it's not fucking nature. This whole, like, okay, I get it. There are, and surprisingly, not with a lot of people now, because a lot of the younger generation, the generation after mine, they're starting to realize that this system is fucked and it's hard to make a fucking living now. And they're a little bit more lenient. But the stereotype of somebody living at home with their parents, it doesn't come from a place of, well, they're lazy. That comes from a place of, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it comes from a place of, hey, I'm this, I'm that, and I just didn't feel motivated. Women can actually know when you're doing it because you're not motivated, and when you're doing it because we're living in the most fucked up financial time for anybody that hasn't already established enough fucking land or property in order to fucking survive. Yo, people can actually tell. There's data on this. But let's continue.
Wait too long, you're going to miss your window. Talking to many women like her, it's interesting how many look back on past relationships where they let good men get away because they weren't ready. And I just did this story like 2 videos ago, 2 or 3, if you'll go back and look. American journalist Kate Bullock wrote recently in The Atlantic about breaking off her 3-year relationship with a man she described as intelligent, good-looking, loyal, and kind. She acknowledges there was no good reason to end things, yet at the time she was convinced something was missing from the relationship. That was 11 years ago. She's now 39 and facing grim choices. We arrive at the top of the staircase, Bullock wrote, finally ready to start our lives, only to discover a cavernous room at the tail end of the party. Most of the men are gone already, some having never shown up. And those who remain are leering by the cheese table or are, the ones you don't want to go out with. So many women are missing out on their fairy tale ending. Their assumption is that when the time is right, the dream man will be waiting. The 30s are worrying years for high-achieving women who long for marriage and children. Of course, not all do, as they face their rapidly closing reproductive window surrounded by men who see no rush to settle down.
Okay, so this whole thing about, like, for real, and I'm tired of fucking saying it. Women are not baby makers, baby making receptacles. Like, no, they're not. Like, fuck. Like, this whole thing about society making it where a woman has to be a mother in order to be valid as a person. Like, no, that's not how shit goes, dog. Like, for real, for real. Like, it's disheartening that we still are having this fucking conversation the way we are. It's fucking very disheartening. And like, for real, like, I'm at a point where it's just like, yo, stop treating women like that. Stop treating women like they have to be the mother of your child in order for, or you have to see them as a mother of your child in order for them to be, valuable in your eyes. And that goes for women too. That I will say this. There are women who think, well, I need to actually I need to be a mother and I need to have validation that way. And no, you don't. You don't need to have that validation in order to be a person, to be able to say you did something with your life. That's not what you need. And I just wish that we would stop socializing people to believe that unless they have a kid, like, we've passed the point where having a kid is the mark of, being remembered in this world. And not to be conspiratorial, but it just seems like a mark of control to tell people, like, only focus about leaving your legacy in the form of a kid, and instead of saying, like, yo, how can we make the world a better place for us all? And I know that sounds a little bit conspiratorial to say that, but it's fuck. It's what people are just told to actually stay in place, to build a new generation of fucking taxpayers and soldiers for the next for all the nations that we've been a part of. And that's not just like saying for, the United States. It's literally something that's been baked into our history, and we're just now questioning to see if it's the right fucking way to actually look at life. But let's continue.
And why would they settle down? What's the benefit? Just look up divorce statistics and look up court statistics for divorce on men, and look up paternity statistics, and look up child support and alimony statistics. There is nothing that benefits a man out of getting married, other than giving the woman the confidence that he will stay by her side. Not worth it. So men are not getting married anymore. You've tightened the thumbnails down so much, the men just say forget it. And of course, many women eventually do find a mate, often ending up with divorced men. There are complications with that second marriage market in which men come complete with former wives and children. That was never part of the plan. Many really struggle with the fact that they aren't in a position to be choosy. American author Lori Gottlieb gives a painful...
Man, like, dude, like, I'm going to say this. sex work is real work. First, that's the first thing I'm gonna say. Sex work is real work, and I'm not mad at a woman for having an OnlyFans. Like shit, can I like can I help you make some more little motherfucking videos? And if I can't, can I at least shoot the shit? Or better yet, can I at least draw the shit? Like yeah, like I'm never gonna make fun of a woman for having an OnlyFans site. I fucking enjoy porn. But like yeah, like here's the thing. Stop fucking conditioning people to say that their best years to get married are in their early, early 20s or fucking late 20s and early 30s. Maybe we wouldn't have such a fucking up ass divorce rate that we do. Maybe if people didn't think that their only value. Okay, cool. That matches. All right. Maybe if people didn't think that their only value was to be, you know, married and having kids, like maybe they may act a little bit differently. But let's continue.
Painfully honest account of that process in her book, Marry Him, The Case for Settling for Mr. Good Enough. Maybe we need to get over ourselves, she writes. The 40-year-old single mother enlisted a team of advisors who helped her realize that while she was conducting her long search for the perfect man, Prince Charming or nobody, her market value had dropped through the floor. Not my words. Not my words. But that's the reality of it. Our generation of women is constantly told to have high self-esteem, but it seems that the women themselves are at risk of ego-tripping themselves out of a romantic connection. She writes, she acknowledges she made a mistake not looking for a spouse in her 20s when she was at her most desirable. She advises 30-something women to look good for Mr. Enough, to look for Mr. Good Enough before they have even less of a chance. They are with a 10, but they want an 8. But suddenly they're 40 and can only get a 5. Women delaying their search for serious relationship have set up a very different dating and marriage market. The Sydney barrister Jamie finds himself spoiled for choice. Like many of his friends, he's finding women actively pursuing him, asking him out, cooking him elaborate meals, buying him presents.
uh, so here's the thing, and I'm gonna actually be very honest. Like, do we have a romanticized view of who our partners should be and what they should actually be? Fucking yes. That's the culture that we can change. We can be that change that we want out of society. And but reinforcing these roles of oh, women at 30 have lost their value or women at 40 have lost their value. That's some old like hate to say it like this. That's some little dick energy for real. Like that's literally little dick energy because you're thinking that a woman's value is only to be my piece of meat to like put my piece of meat in, and that's just like little dick energy. Like, dude, like I want a woman to fucking challenge me, like for real. If I had a woman to fucking challenge me, man, like even the women that I date, I expect challenges from them. I expect not to the point of arguments, but I expect to be challenged. I'm sorry, like, and that's the thing, like, and I get the whole you should date look for Mr. Good Enough and good enough. I'm gonna put it like this: the romanticized view of what love should be is toxic as shit, and people who actually believe that that's what love is have never really truly been in love. They've only been in love with the idea of having somebody that's going to be what they want them to be and not who they are. And yeah, that's a motherfucking problem. If you think that love is what you see in fucking movies and magazines, you have a fucking issue because you've never really truly been in love. And not that you should not have standards, but you should evaluate why you have those standards and what do those standards actually bring you. What's the benefit of having that standard? No one should have to be okay with somebody abusing them either mentally or physically. No one should actually, or emotionally, let me just say that as well. No one should actually be put in a place where they feel that they have to stay with someone to secure their um, financial health. No one should actually have to be with someone because they fear the safety of somebody else. That's not what the that's not what this should actually be. That's not what relationships or love should actually be. By the same token, the other side, um, there is a prevailing social kind of thing going on where I want the best. And to be honest with you, this motherfucker is saying how he wants the best because he's putting this whole thing of women are this number, men are that number. And I'm sorry, dog. Like, I'm sorry. You're doing the thing. You're being the problem that you're talking about. But let's continue.
Oh, you're a barrister, they say. While many of his mates are playing the field, determined to enjoy this unexpected attention, Jamie is ready to settle down. He's very wary of Sex and the City types, women who are convinced they're so special, but he's confident he will soon find someone with her feet on the ground. I'm lucky, he said. It's a buyer's market. You know, at my age now, to be quite frank, I haven't dated in the last year or two after a relationship ended, and it wasn't an extremely long relationship. I weren't talking years, but I traveled. I did my travel around the world, and I found that younger women from the age of 19 up through 32, 33. Now I'm blessed by looking a little bit younger than I actually am. But even when I told them my age, which I always do, it doesn't bother me. Even at 19 or 20, they didn't blink an eye. There was a young woman that I met when I was in Japan, in Hokkaido, Japan, or what it might have been Sapporo.
Notice he said that, like, literally, he's talking about women of a different culture and a culture that has been stereotyped to have more demure, submissive women. Like, for real. And it's a stereotype because it's not. I mean, like, you you do have the people that are, you do have different types of people in the culture, and you know I'm not gonna sit back and say um, it's just a stereotype that you actually see people do, and it's a shit stereotype because it makes it seem like you're not getting a woman out of that culture because you actually like her, but because you want to have what is effectively, a subservient person because of that stereotype. And this shit right here that he's saying is just reinforcing that. And it's just like, it's one of the reasons why you get so much of a toxic anime fan base. Because even the yandere or the sandere, it's perceived that as soon as she does like you, then, she's all submissive and shit. And it's like, no, people aren't like that. And if you're training your women in your culture to be like that, you're kind of a shit person. But let's continue.
Either one, I met her in a hostel. She was a young German girl who was traveling, and she was 19, and she flirted with me endlessly. Now, 19 was a little below my cutoff date, so, I didn't bother to reciprocate, but the point was it was there. She was always asking me to go out to dinner, and if I'd enjoy spending some time with her while we were both in the city. And I did, because she was fun. But the interesting thing, it wasn't the lecherous old man asking out this young woman. It was her asking me out. Am I special? No. I've always dated almost exclusively 10 to 20 years younger. Why? Because I can. Because I can. Now, women usually want to date men that are the top 10 percenters. I am not a 10 percenter. I'm not 6 feet tall. But when you maybe might be in that top.
Wait, did I just catch what he just fucking said? He just said that I normally date 10 to 15 years younger because I can't. But he's complaining about women who have their own specific taste and choice because they can't. Did I just miss that shit? Like, for real? Like, I just missed that, right? I just missed that. Like, holy shit, does he not realize the shit that he just said. Like, the fuck? It's because, okay, so Regina, I'm gonna spell it out for you. They think if a woman is young, she's inexperienced. So they have little penises or they last only like 2 minutes. Unlike somebody like myself that has at least 6 inches and can go a full 4 minutes, they feel that a woman is going to laugh at them if they have sex. That's why they want younger women, because they're insecure. Shit, I'm like Bernie Mac. All it takes is 3 minutes to nut. 3 minutes, bust a nut. Talking about Crimson can't fuck. I could go on about that bit. And of course, I used the word motherfucker too many times. But let's continue.
30%, right? Depending on your finances and if you're in good shape and so on and so forth. Well, there's still a very big market out there for women that they want the 10, but they will take a 7. Even if deservedly they maybe should only deserve a 5.
Wait, how do you deserve? What? Wait, what? Like, I'm, I'm, I have so many questions. How do you just deserve a 5? Like, what? Wait, what? Like, they deserve a 5. Like, bitch, you're dating above your station. Like, is that how that goes? Like, for real? Is that how that goes? Oh, God. Like, oh. Oh, God. Like, that shit just, oh. Oh, shit. Like, that shit is hilarious. That is hilarious. She deserves a 5. Bitter man. Bitter man. Like, for real, that's just like so bitter. That is so bitter. Bitter man. Bitter man. Bitter man. Oh, God. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna finish this. Let's continue.
So the whole point of all of this tonight, guys, is that not only are these studies, not only are these the women's words, not only is this an article that's written by a woman, but it kind of, and this is again going back 8 years, it tells us what we've known now for quite a while, that women are pricing themselves out of the market. And the men, instead of trying to, I can never improve myself enough to be 6 feet tall. I can go hit the gym as much as you want, but I'm not getting any taller. I can't get any handsomer. I can maybe grow a beard to hide some of it, but this is all I got. And then when you say, well, the only thing then your value is your money, and we never even talk about my personality or what type of person I am, why even bother with that? Why even get...
Wait, did he just say why bother with his personality? He's a shit person. Oh my God, he is a shit person. He just admitted to being a shit person. Like, at some point, dog, you gotta realize you're a shit person. Like I just don't know. Like, you're yes. Personality means a whole hell of a lot, especially when you get what do they call them? Good women. You know, something that like oh my God, like these motherfuckers really don't fucking get it. They don't get it's their personality that drives a lot of these women away. Like, they just think that women just wants to be mean to them because, you know, permagamy or whatever the fuck it's called. They really just believe this shit. And it's just like, no, motherfucker, you're an asshole. And not even a good type of asshole. Not even the asshole who fucking just says, like you're the cowardly asshole. And it's like, what the hell, man? Like, what the hell? What the hell, man? What the hell? Well, let's continue.
Involved with that. That's insulting. I would not degrade myself to participate in that market. And neither are a lot of you. There's many of you guys that are walking away and just saying, you know, I'm done with this and I deserve better. And I deserve to be treated better than a wallet. Or you go out and you have your fun while you're all in your 20s, and then when it's time to settle down, well, I'm the leftovers, and you come creeping back thinking that I should be lucky to have you. That doesn't work anymore. And until women can...
Wow. This motherfucker is just bitter. Let dude, like, for real, just like bitter. Bitter man. Bitter man. Like, this is just bitterness. Just right there. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, this motherfucker is just super bitter. Like, how dare you try to come back to me? This is the reason why he hates dating, because somebody tried to come back to him. Oh God, oh God, I'm a horrible person. I am. This is why I'm an asshole, guys. This is why I'm an asshole, because of shit like this. Oh, that shit look. Let's just center it in. Like, oh, that shit looks fucking awesome. And I'm gonna actually work on trying to color it. Oh God, this is why I'm an asshole. This is why I'm an asshole. I gotta put Rose up there. But let's continue.
Can relax there. And it's not about having to be in a holier than thou and high and mighty attitude. It's until you can relax a little bit and say, look, you're an average woman, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with being an average woman, right? Go find yourself an average guy, okay? You stop shooting for the stars because you're just going to keep missing. And the longer you wait, the less of an opportunity you're going to have, as they've stated here. Guys, if you'd like to support my work, link.
No, you're not going to promote your shit on my channel. But, like, did you actually just hear this shit? He just told a woman, you're average, so you deserve an average guy. As if he's not average. Like, for real, this fucking sense of entitlement and bullshit is fucking unbelievably crazy. Because that's what it is. It's entitlement. I get to be entitled because reasons, and you don't. And that's what all this shit is. That's what all this shit turns out to be. I'm better. You little peon of a person. How dare you question your station? And that's all this shit is. That's all it is. It's this whole entitlement of, I'm the best around. No one ever gonna take you down. That's a little bit too big. Let's go with the other one. Yeah, I think I'll feel better with a smaller one. But let's continue.
Links are below. Thank you for all of those of you that have. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and it does help. I'm putting my butt.
Shit. Oh, let's go. Oh God, let's do another video. Oh God.
Right. What is Philo?
No, you're not gonna Philo on my motherfucking channel. Ooh. All right, I'm not cutting this one up, so I'm just gonna keep doing this shit, and I'm gonna keep going, because this is me drawing, like, for real. So yeah. An average girl can get this average penis with an average amount of time or sex. Like, the fuck? Like, the fuck? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. I have issues. But let's go ahead and do another video. All right. So, Abba and Preach. Now, some of their content I like. Some of their content I'm like, dude, like, you sound like you a fucking hurting people, and they acknowledge this shit, like, hurt people, but you turn around and do hurt people. You do the same shit you accuse other people of, and, like, for real, like, I mean, like, they're a good team, and, like, even though I can't, like, always, even though I don't always agree with their content, I can still take the time to I still service punches. I still can take the time to appreciate their content. And it's not a hate watch thing. It's more of a like y'all, like, no, like, yeah, but it's just one of those things. And we're gonna actually do a video, probably one of many videos that I do about their content. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and start working on a video.
I'm an optimistic person. I really think that humanity, we're going in a good place for the most part. I've been super disappointed by so much of the rhetoric of like, it affects mostly old people.
That's tough to watch if you're 70. My dad is 70. And you watch, don't worry, people. It affects old people. People over, and then you named it. That's fucked up to hear.
Do you know how selfish you have to be to say some stuff like that and go about your day knowing that you may put them at risk? Yeah, but natural selection.
All right, so, yeah, like, no, like, this is from the start of the coronavirus, and I will admit, I was one of those people that it was around the time where Bernie Sanders was like got hit with the fucking DNC kind of like idea of them Voltroning a character together to get Joe Biden, and I was kind of pissed. So I engaged in the whole joke about Corona being a boomer remover, and I admit that shit, and it was also coming from the people that it was a response from the people that was like, oh my god, like they had just a week earlier actually said that these young people need to learn how to be self-sufficient and do things on themselves and not rely on other people. And I am not super young. I'm 38, but I'm an asshole, and you get it as much as you fucking give it. Like, for real. Like, that's the thing. You get it as much as you give it. And I didn't like the fact that, people under a certain age, I'm a little bit outside of that exception of age, are treated as just shit for wanting a better world, a better place. So I engaged in the boomer remover, thing, but, I fully admit that I'm an asshole, and I'm not going to make an excuse about it. So, what really gets me is these motherfucker pro-lifers. They are literally motherfuckers who, talk a good game about how all life is precious, unless it's, African American, or unless it's poor. But all life is precious. So let's go on and get over that.
What? Bro, this genuinely shocked me to my core. You want to know? Because, like, where I'm from, we don't think like that. And I honestly didn't think that people out here thought like that about old folks. I mean, I've seen it in small doses, but not like this.
I was not disappointed. I was like, yo.
But are you guys dumb? Who raised you? What, because they're older and they're more feeble and they're weaker, you think it's easy to just discard them? It doesn't matter. Why do we need retirement homes? Why don't we just throw them on a boat?
Do you have retirement homes in Ethiopia?
I mean, there might be a couple, but most people just take care of the old folks.
That's the thing. That's why you're so surprised. You know what I mean? In my family, we take care of our own as well, right? We would take care of our people. In your country, you lived there for so long. That's what you've seen. But I've been there for long enough to know that that's something that is commonly seen.
All right, so yeah, it's a culture thing, and fuck, I hate to make things class reductionist again, but a lot of people, they can't take care of their older family members. One, because a lot of people who should actually be retired and taking care of their older, parents and things like that, they're still working, trying to at least make plans for their retirement. And that's kind of a fucked up ass situation. Like, for real, that's a fucked up ass situation that we have actually allowed to fucking happen. Because we're so governed by this whole thing of, gotta make money until you die. If you do die, don't die in debt. And if you do die in debt, don't die that much in debt. And oh yeah, we have medical bankruptcies. And like, I'm gonna let the fucking video play on.
Like, even it's just like that. And I've been to old people's home, old folks' home, and you see people not getting visited at all.
But man, honestly, it made me super sad because I just imagine older people seeing that and just being like, oh, all of society doesn't care if I perish. That's sad. And if you don't have enough compassion in your heart to be like, I'm gonna do what it takes to make sure that I don't make their lives harder, you know, like these people paved the way for our society. They're the ones who fought in our wars. They're the ones who raised us, raised our parents, built a lot of our infrastructure. I don't know. I wanted to get mad when I started this, but honestly, like this is genuinely one of the few times where I'm just like, damn, how hard must it be to just go online, everyone being like, yeah, if they die, I don't really care.
Yeah.
You know, like there's already a lot of.
So this whole point, and I get why people make this point of like, I get why people make this point of, you know, there are senior generations, and you know they've raised us and they've done so much for us, and I show a lot of respect for the fact that these people have paved the way for us. But a lot of these groups of these people, they actually have also paved the way over us. And I hate to make this whole argument of being like, it's sounding as bad as it is, and I don't want to turn it to an argument of whataboutism. But we have the catering to boomers that is a reason for a lot of the problems that we have. The whole mortgage thing, mortgage financial things, the whole fact that we literally have a generation of people that can't live up to a career because there are so many people that are still in jobs where they probably should have retired already. And I'm not going to put all the blame squarely on them, but they were complicit in the fact that boomers are screwing every generation underneath them. They are. They're being catered to more and more. Now the tide is turning with us millennials and zoomers, but boomers are being catered to more and more, and it's causing an issue, and it's a cascading issue where we do have a lot of people who literally can't make their way in the world for because there is so little economic opportunity. But let's continue.
Stuff where we discard old people's opinions and their thoughts and their feelings a lot. And to just hear people just casually like, yeah, if they die, they die. I don't care. Man, who raised y'all?
That's a lot of it here. It's crazy, but I am not surprised, unfortunately.
I think it's unfortunate because I don't think we've really done a great job of informing young people and our children of the importance and of the wealth of knowledge that old people have to offer.
It's not something that is important. You understand what I'm saying? It's not.
So this I'm gonna also make this point. It sounds like they're making an argument from authority that because or argument from antiquity because something, and I know that's not exactly, but because something has been around for a long time, it's automatically right, and that's a dangerous argument to have because there are certain things that's been around for a long time, like police brutality, that it's been around for a long time. That doesn't make it right. But let's continue.
Not important because when we see it as when we see it as a book, knowledge, they see it as past due. They see it as not updated. That's what the general feeling is.
Do you know how selfish you have to be like, they're an inconvenience to me because I don't want to have to change any of my habits or my life. So I'm thinking we should let them die. Do you understand?
Wait, what? But we do that with other people all the fucking time. Boomers have done that with millennials. Oh, they just not working hard, so they should struggle. Like, this is the shit, like, and I get it. We should respect all people. Not just old people, not just young people. We should expect all people. But for them to say, well, because they're older, they automatically get first trip off the lifeboat, that's not how that works, dog. That's not how that works at all. Dude, we're all in this shit together. And I'm sorry, I get so tired of seeing these people who sit back and say, "Well, you should believe in this old concept because that's the way things have worked before." The way things have worked and the way things uh, have which are better said not worked for everybody is a reason why we're in such a fucked up ass situation. Now, I get it. Like it's disheartening to hear the whole well boomer remover like meme, and a lot of people aren't fuck, it's not even a lot of old people that are upset about it. It's young people that says, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I lose this person. You're not even like, I know some old people, they're assholes. They're like, fuck, I'm ready to go, I keep on living. And of course that's not all of the people who are have reached a certain age, but there are a lot of old people that's just like, they're just mean and ornery because fuck, I've been alive too long. And it's some people that just want to, it's the whole thing. Somebody will be offended if they heard that from this particular group, and it's just like, no, you're just offended. That person that I'm, talking about, literally, I'm talking about somebody I know. I talk about this, and yes, I know that's been an excuse for people to be racist. I am not, unaware of that, but it's just like some of these people are just like, yo, like, it's not what you think it is, man. But let's continue.
How selfish you have to be to prioritize your day-to-day life over the well-being of other people.
Welcome
That's
to
sad.
America. Like, fuck, welcome
That's
to
sad.
America.
There's no other way to put it.
Or North America.
They're projecting that close to 1 million people will die in the United States at this point.
Pretty much. Oh, and I can see it because they're not, just yesterday there was just a bunch of footage of
People going to clubs.
beach, people at the beach in the States and stuff like that, going to the beach, going to the club. They don't see how serious it is. But then again, I don't want to judge their government out there doing things, but I don't think it's being taken seriously. Like, I have a message in my WhatsApp from someone from Portugal, someone that left Canada to go coach soccer in Portugal, and he sends a message to the how serious it is, and he's basically saying, "Yo, I've unfortunately been witnessing this. Like, they're like, it's worse than the flu. I don't know why the media are telling you that it's not worse than the flu. That's a lie."
Go tell that to the doctors who are overladen with patients right now in Italy. So many of them die. They have to pick who's going to live and who's going to die. It's a scary thing out there. Mm-hmm. I understand the tough choices that those doctors have to make. They have to prioritize the young for the old on those beds. I get that. Most people understand that. But when you tell me that you have to prioritize your day-to-day life over the lives of old people, that's a different thing. And I don't think people realize also how traumatic the loss of love.
All right, so I mean, like, this whole shaming people, like, let's have a conversation about how literally, like, again, people like me who's a millennial, we've been saying that we've been having this issue about, student loan or not having enough careers, and it's just like, not having enough money for our own careers or start our own, our own life. And one of the things, and of course this is old, this is an older one, and I'm glad to get this off my docket, but it's just like, it's one of those things where it's just like, it's not just young people who are being selfish. It's a lot of people being selfish. And like, of course we have the fucking orange baby in chief that literally is only worried about his campaign goals in order to fucking to get reelected. And of course that fucking flower is big as shit. Let's see how they have it in the original picture. So yeah. But yeah. Anyway, let me just finish. Once I finish this one, I'm gonna actually start coloring it. And what is it? It's almost one. Shit. I'm gonna do a Final Fantasy stream today, so everybody who's waiting for me to start doing more of that, I'm gonna do more. But let's finish this.
One's going to be for some people. You know, like I personally didn't know my grandparents, so it may not hit me like that. But, you know, the median age of the people dying is around 70. But there's people in their 50s, 60s dying.
30s and 20s.
Your callous attitude is going to encourage and lead to those deaths. I mean, you're not going to do it with a knife, but your negligence is going to contribute. If it hasn't gone through, you have some soul searching to do. You have to look in the mirror and really start to question what kind of person you are. I feel like in the Western world, we're so much about like my personal freedoms. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do what I want. Brother, you live in a community. You pay taxes. You have a police force. You have a fire station.
But I'm not hurting
When you
any-
get
but I'm
hurt,
not hurting
you call
any-
the ambulance. We live together. Stop just thinking that you're an individual who does whatever they want. No, we're in this together. You have a responsibility.
Now, mind you, Abba is a fucking red pillar. He is. He's a fucking red pillar. But like he's preaching this shit because he's fucking scared of himself, like for himself. And this is the irony of the bullshit. This is the whole complete fucked up ass irony of it. You're part of a community. Get the fuck out of here.
And if you don't see that, if you don't want to acknowledge that, you're garbage. If you siphon resources out of this community, but you're not willing to contribute to its well-being, you're trash.
That's a safe statement.
Trash. If you're saying I'm gonna do whatever I want, you're garbage. I have no problem saying that you're garbage. Just man, some people gotta check their values, bro. That's it. Anything else you want to say about this?
Nope.
All right.
All right, so let's go to the next video. Our good friend, Coach Red Pill.
I've lost 13 pounds so far, and I'm
Yeah, no, for real. For real. Let's go. All right. Let me finish drawing this rose and before I get to start this, and I gotta go take a piss right quick. And then we can actually see how far I've gotten in the last 2 hours of this. Shit. This was actually fun doing this rose because I just did not know how to do it. I saw a video and I fucking did it, and it was awesome to me. And I had to color. When I originally did it, I did it in what the fuck is that? I did it in acrylic. And it turned out really fucking well. Now I don't know how it's gonna work with me doing the marker on literally her green versus the red and all that other good shit, but I'm looking to fucking figure out how that works. Alright, almost finished. Alright, let's see how this actually looks. Oh, cool. Alright, so. I'm going to get into the markers. I'm going to put this up for a second. I'll be right back, guys. I got to go take a piss. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna take a break for a little bit. Um, give myself a little bit of time to just give myself a little bit of time, and plus, I think I need to go and buy some specific markers. So, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you have any other questions or concerns, please feel free to hit me up on my DeviantArt page, my if you have me, like, just hit me up because, like, yeah, I think it turned out pretty fucking well. Let me just move this. Display capture stop. Just remove it. I think it turned out pretty well. And by the way, this is. Let me just show you how big this thing is actually. You can see 18 by 24. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go get me some more markers. But anyway, I'll try to be later on. All right, people. I just saluted. You guys can't see me. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your day.